All right, audio test. That is working good. And streaming. Fix the comments. Cheyenne got your message. Hopefully you got me loud and clear. Fix my high school huddle. Okay. Got the audio there. That is working good. All right, awesome. I'm making sure my comments are working. Okay, took that off, so that goes off. Nope. Comments, Cody. Yay, thank you, Cody. Awesome, it's working. It's all good. Huh? I fixed it. You're gonna have to. I mean, I got Capitol Hill Southeast in your top 5, so. All right, Cheyenne's got us at the station. We're good there. Here in a little bit, we're going to have J.D. Northcutt join us in our second segment.
Our more buddy.
We're going to talk more football. We're going to talk 6A football with him. And
yeah.
Excited to talk with J.D.
Absolutely. Did I get to talk about my favorite team in Kansas?
You know what? We can probably get that out of the way now. So.
Well, no. I mean,
during showtime?
I've got an audience that's tuning in.
From
Kansas.
Well, you haven't shared it yet, have you? Are they already watching?
I'm getting ready to. I just talked to them. Goodness gracious, a lot of pressure. I didn't get here in time tonight. I sent over my top 5 rankings.
Yeah, I got them in there.
Put those in for me.
Yeah, I got them into the database.
Oh boy, here we go. Let's share.
Yeah. Sounds like it's working.
Oh, I need to turn that down, don't I? Oh boy, everyone wants to talk to me now. My dad's calling.
If everyone's watching on Facebook, that's an awesome thing, but you can also watch us on YouTube, which you can watch on your TV screen. A lot easier, of course, on your phone. But anything Guthrie, if you want to, whether it's our football games that we have or meetings of any sort or any breaking news, you can always catch it on YouTube. So
actually, Mike, my friend in Kansas, whose kiddos went and watched last week, I think I told him just go to YouTube, Guthrie News page. I told him to do that. So he's probably going to watch on YouTube, actually. But good hat, though. Look at it. What do you think? You like that? Sharp hat.
Yeah, it's new. They had a size that fits. Is it stretched out to the?
I have a smaller hat size than you do.
Are you serious?
I really do. Everybody thinks because I have large jowls.
Right. And
people mistake that
fingers,
for a big.
thumbs.
I do have big. Yeah. But I bet my hat size is smaller than yours. What size hat do you wear?
7 1/4.
I have a smaller hat size than you.
Are you serious? I would have never guessed that.
I do.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Ryan Cotting I thought YouTube was for quitters.
Oh, glad Ryan's back.
Yeah.
Jeez. This time last week we're having prayer groups, and now he's just insulting
mocking us. Yeah,
mocking us. That's great. Do you think that really happened, or was Ryan just trying to get everybody's attention?
A little
sympathy.
Little Facebook.
Little unspoken prayer request. We joke, Ryan. We're glad you're back, and everything's okay. That scared everybody. Scared Chris. I didn't know how much Chris liked you. He was inconsolable there for a while.
I was getting messages from people in Stillwater who watched this show.
I joke, but as my little buddy knows, we were all paying close attention to our friends, our friend, and making sure, and in this time it's hard because you can't go any place. You can't.
Right.
You can't go check. You know what I mean?
Right. Ryan says, I know he knows. I do know it was a little jab to one of our friends. So.
Oh, one of our friends. Yeah. Acquaintance of mine, right?
Yeah. You would know him.
My buddy's watching on Facebook. There he
awesome.
is, Mike Chrisman. I gotta tell you before we go on the air. We got about 8 minutes?
No, we got about around 4-ish.
Oh, 4-ish.
Or whenever Cheyenne says go.
Cheyenne says go.
Yeah.
Mike Chrisman, year ahead of me in school. I was trying to tell you, I figured something out last week. Stayed at Mike's house for a couple days. Tanya kicked me out again. No, I'm joking. I was there on business, and Mike's one of the best football players I ever played with. Legitimately.
Same class?
A year ahead of me. Class of 83. I was 84. But he was undersized.
Oh, the Olympic Games were yours.
Yeah, 84, yeah. He was undersized. If Mike had been 5'9", 5'10", could have played ball at many places D1. I mean, he was just a fabulous football player.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't born with the size
that
everybody needs, but great football player. And I was trying to explain to his kids how good of a football player he was. His boys, typical 50-year-old twin boys. Would you guys have helmets when you guys played? Did you, everybody was so slow. Everybody was so
after the dinosaurs were taken off.
And then they told Mike their freshman team last year would have beat our varsity team when we were in high school. And I love the boys, but that's a good way to check out early. You got to be careful what you say to old men.
Ryan sent the visual proof to us.
Fancy goodness. That could just be where he lipped off to his bride and she put a pop on him too, though. Again. Yeah, she's a hitter.
Hey, Brian, good to see you. Hope everything's going well in Crescent, America.
Come on now. I got a little flack for my putting Crescent and Cashin on the best.
Oh, really?
I did. It's kind of funny.
I guess you could put Ada Ardmore there.
I think Crescent and Cashin deserve to be on my list.
So was it a Cashin fan, a Crescent fan, or a 5A, 6A snob?
It was a Cashin fan.
That
might have.
I told you.
That might have said, well, they got to beat us once in a while to be a rivalry. And I said, hang on now. Don't get too cocky.
That's the.
Don't get too cocky.
OU or OSU. I mean.
Oh, we don't talk about it anymore. They're moving on to SEC.
Oh.
OU's going to go be third place every year in their division. Texas is going to be battling to get to 500. It's going to be great.
They just need a quarterback. They'll be fine. I mean, I hope not.
Who?
Texas. As soon as they get a good quarterback, they'll be good.
And I don't know anybody that hates Texas more than you.
I know.
So why do you even do that to yourself?
Because it's going to happen. It's just
No, it's not. No, it's not. They won one national title since Jesus was a corporal, and we talk about like they won all these national titles.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is nobody in our part of the world's consistently won national titles in years. That's unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
When Cheyenne calls, I got to do a trick on here because I'm gonna do a thing that's called solo on this mixer where we can talk but not go on the air. I hope that's what the case, because I got to call JD during the break. Say, hey, are you good?
Are you going to answer Cheyenne's call?
Yep,
there you go.
All right. Oh, watch this. Cheyenne, you're on. Oh, hold on. Audio. Listen to this. Cheyenne, you're on the stream. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all tonight?
See, she hesitated.
Well, I don't blame her. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
Okay, hold on one second. Go ahead.
You see, you guys were connected to my earbuds, so I didn't want to do that. But you guys are about to start playing. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Oklahoma, huddle up. It's time to go inside the High School Huddle on Hot 93.7 FM. The High School Huddle will take you where you want to go with coaches, players, your phone calls, texts, and tweets. Join the huddle and let's talk high school sports.
It is a high school huddle here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI. Welcome to week 4 of Oklahoma high school football. Along with Cheyenne back in our Stillwater studios, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you as we get set for Friday Night Lights. There are some action on Thursday night. We'll talk about some of those games as well. But we are set for another exciting week of football. It is district play.
It is district play. Now they all count. They all matter. Totally different than in Kansas. We want to get this out of the way? I mean, I know you got big plans, so.
Well, no, we'll set you up here in a second.
Are you going to set me up?
Let me set you up.
Last time you did that, it's been a couple nights at the Clinker. Go ahead.
High School Huddle, of course, our total sponsor is Generations Church. They're located at 2524 West Noble here in beautiful Guthrie. You can check them out on their website at generationsguthrie.com. A lot of great information on Facebook as well at Generations Guthrie. Got a great youth program. Of course, Pastor Josh Siebold, his wife, Nicole, and kids. And they got a really, really great team out there and really involved in the community. And it's a great place to go check out and visit and see if it's a good place for you. Again, Generations Church, the title sponsor of the High School Huddle. Got a great show for you. We're going to look at some of the scores and some of the games last week. We're also going to talk to J.D. Northcutt, a friend of ours who does Moorline football. They are 3-0 this year, and they're going for the city championship this week as they take on Southmore. So we're going to talk to J.D., get his thoughts on not only the Moore Lions, but Class 6A football as well, as he sees those 6A teams every single year. He's been doing it for decades, and so look forward to visiting with J.D.
Yeah, there's not a bigger Lions fan out there than J.D. Yeah. I mean, he's all in, as they say, and just all in on high school football. He's like we are. We enjoy high school sports more than anything else, and he loves it and does a great job. Does a great job calling games. Of course, we always get to see JD at the state championship games, and he does a fabulous job and just a high-quality guy.
Yeah, he also does state basketball championship games with us as well. So, JD in our next segment. But Guthrie, we broadcast Guthrie games on Friday night. We'll talk about Guthrie and Piedmont this week. But you were able to sneak out of the state because we had a bye week.
Yeah.
Guthrie had a bye week. Yep. But you were able to sneak across the line again.
Yeah, I got back in and out.
Did you get your paperwork?
Yeah, I just snuck in.
Okay. Yeah. But you were able to go watch a little bit of Kansas high school football. Yeah. And so how was that experience?
It was awesome. I mean, Cape and Mount Carmel played Wichita Northwest, and a really good ball game. You know, kind of, as I'm watching it, and I think I told you this later, I said that Cape and Mount Carmel reminds me a lot of Bishop McGinnis, right? Really bright kids, very smart kids, know the game, play within themselves. They've got a couple kids that are very, very good athletes. The big thing that stood out for me, the one thing that stood out for me was the linemen look a little different in Kansas. Mm-hmm. Not quite as big and physical as we have gotten used to seeing in 5A or above, or as what I call big boy ball down here. Not that there's not great ball in 4A, 3A, 2A there is, but in the bigger class ball. But Cape and Mount Carmel beat Wichita Northwest by 3 scores. I think it was a 3-score game at the end. And Charlie and Henry Chrisman both contributed. Then Henry turns around Monday. They're sophomores. Plays a JV game. Tears high ankle sprain. Out for, I think, 4 to 6 weeks. So if Henry's listening, man, sorry to hear that, buddy. And then Charlie broke out Monday and had a great game. I got the update from their pops, Mike, who's one of my oldest friends. And it was a lot of fun. You know, great crowd, great atmosphere. This is one thing that Kansas, at least Cape Mount Carmel, does better than I've seen. Their student section is nuts. Mm-hmm. They show up. Their student section shows up. But it was a great time, great experience. But it was fun to kind of see the difference in Oklahoma high school football and Kansas.
Very cool.
Football.
Very cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. We got to see Texas a couple of years ago when we covered that for the FHS Network. So, but let's take a look at some of the games last week. And, of course, the game of the week last week was Bixby and Stillwater. Yep. And we had Stillwater shirts underneath here, but we both picked Bixby. Yeah. And it was 7-7. It looked like a very competitive game. It was going to be a very fun game, as expected, to be the game of the week in the state. But Mr. Presley had different ideas in the second quarter as Bixby takes it to Stillwater 42-14.
Yeah, I think Bixby's the best team in the state, all classes. I think they're loaded. They're just absolutely loaded. You've got Presley, as you talked about, and he's probably the second most recruited kid on the field. his teammate Luke Haas is a junior, has already committed to go to OU, but has offers from everybody.
Right.
So
where Presley wasn't getting the early offers.
No, until he put up 9,000 total yards that game on ESPN. And you did it, Chris. Well, it was all Chris, but I mean he's special. I think he's player of the year in Oklahoma, bar injury. The best player that I've seen in Oklahoma is the Presley kid out of Bixby, and I don't see anybody getting in their way. I guess Choctaw's going to have something to say. I mean, they've got a really good football team, but I'll tell you, if Bixby stays healthy and they keep improving, it's going to be a tall order.
Braylon Presley, 16 carries, 233 yards, 4 touchdowns. A year ago, he averaged 159. Yeah. So it was had somewhat of a quiet season for his standards in the first few games, but he definitely broke out against Stillwater. Bixby, 583 total yards, so he's about halfway of the Bixby offense that night. 39 straight wins, of course. Bixby has won 6 of the last 7 state championships in 6A too, and will be favorites to win 7 out of 8 before moving on to 6A1 next year.
And it's going to look a little different for them next year in 6A1 because Presley's going to be gone.
And the competition, week in and week out.
Week in, week out gets a little better, and where you really notice it in 6A Division I are the big boys up front. There's more of them. They're just big, athletic, big. We're talking about obviously the big uglies, the offensive, defensive linemen. But it's different. You go you go to a 5A game and watch it. You'll still see some kids out there. You go, oh yeah, I mean he's a scrapper.
Yeah.
You get 6A Division II, they're rare, but you'll still see them. They don't exist in 6A Division I. They all look like they could play on Saturdays size-wise.
Right.
And, I mean, it's noticeable. And then you look at their sideline, they got 8 of them standing on the sideline that look the same way. So that's what I've always thought was the big difference maker between 6A1 and 2 and 5A.
I really would have liked to see Stigler and Bixby play a couple of.
Boy!
Hey, another big game.
We thought that was a good idea.
We thought it was for about 2 hours. It was a really good idea. Another big game that really didn't turn out to be a big game on the scoreboard wise was Cushing taking down Berryhill 55-14. As we'll talk about Cushing later on in the show, as they arguably have maybe the second best game of the state. It's up there as they will take on Tuttle this week. But last week, take down Berryhill 55-14. Berryhill, a top 10 team in the rankings. But Blake Burlowitz, the quarterback that we were talking about last week, 21 of 30 passing, 298 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And his primary target on Friday night will be a name a lot of people in Guthrie in Stillwater would recognize, the last name Crooks.
Yeah.
Camden Crooks is the grandson of former Guthrie High School basketball coach Charles Crooks.
I'll be darned.
His grandson had 10 catches, 158 yards, 10 tackles, forced a fumble, and recovered 2 fumble recoveries.
That's a season.
That's exactly right.
That is a season.
So Cushing is undefeated, and they'll have the big showdown with Tuttle. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, they're for real.
Here in a little bit as well. Heritage Hall, not Heritage Hall, Holland Hall and Metro Christian, the game, number 1 team in 3A against the number 1 team in 2A, defending state champion last year, and
you lost your mind last year.
I was.
You got caught up in the moment.
I was trying to will. Holland Hall hasn't lost a game in 85 years.
And I went with the easy pick, Holland Hall.
37-7 was the victory there.
Yeah. You don't do that often, though.
No, I don't.
You don't get caught up like that, but you got caught up a little bit.
The Dutch got me.
The Dutch got you.
Zane Woodham, 16, 153 with 3 touchdowns in that game as well. Another game, a repeat of last year's Class A state championship, Cashin and Thomas. Yeah. Thomas has lost a few folks, and Cashin holds steady as they take down the Thomas Fay Custer Terriers 47-0. You're not number 1 team in Class A football, Phil. Right. Cashin, not even your number 2 team in Class A football. Right. Ben Harmon, 6 touchdown passes.
Have to get a new chiropractor.
Mason Manning had 10 catches for 196 yards. Yeah. So I think they might have put your rankings up on the Cashin locker room for motivation. They took it out on Thomas.
Yeah, and I do have to find a new chiropractor. Now, thanks.
Yeah.
They didn't hear that last week. I'm pretty sure they heard it this week, so that's great, Chris. Thanks. Good friends of mine, Kevin's son, played for Cashin, and he used to be my chiropractor until tonight. Chris just wrapped that up, so thanks.
Not a problem.
Yeah, my buddy.
I got your rankings. We'll have those here in a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Has Cashin moved up?
Okay.
or have they moved down? Or are they in the top 5? We'll see what Phil has on his rankings here in a few segments here.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Another game of interest was in 5A football.
Yeah.
The Piedmont Wildcats went on the road to take on the Noble Bears. It was a back-and-forth ball game, but Noble comes out victorious 49-35. I've had Noble in my top 10 last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But Colin Fisher, the quarterback for Noble, he's actually committed to play football at University of Arkansas. His dad – now this is when you're getting old because I played against his dad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, his dad was a standout baseball player at Noble High School.
Wow.
Actually played a year or one year at OU on a baseball scholarship. Okay. But Colin Fisher, 12 of 18 passing, 317 yards, 5 touchdowns as Noble snaps their 3-game losing streak to Piedmont. And it was really and I was able to watch a little bit of that game on the stream, and it was a battle of spread offense, new offense against flexbone offense, 1920 offense. Yeah. And so Piedmont, they're both blue. Piedmont did not complete a pass. I think they were 0-3. I'm not sure if it was 0-3, but or something.
How many rushing yards, though?
481.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's their game. They're going to line up and run it right at you and see if you're a big enough old boy to stop it. And now, what is unusual about that score is Piedmont, if you put up 49 against Piedmont because of their offense,
right?
Usually Piedmont doesn't score 35.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean?
It's hard because they control their
offense. They burn a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not a
with 3 passes you're running the ball.
You're running the ball, and that's now obviously the opposite of that, the polar opposite of that. They're going to spread it around. Noble's going to throw it around and stop the clock score quick, right? But it'll be interesting. I know we'll break down Piedmont and Guthrie here in a little bit, but that should be a good matchup for the Blue Jays this weekend.
Piedmont, we'll talk about them a little bit as well. Cannon Wood, 19 carries, 160 yards, 1 touchdown. And Israel Robles, 18 carries, 152 yards for 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So the Noble Bears, 2-1 on the season. Piedmont 0-2. And we'll go ahead and get this promo in here real quick as it is this week. The Guthrie Blue Jays will take on the Piedmont Wildcats. That game will be in Piedmont, Oklahoma. You can watch the game on our YouTube page as well, a Guthrie News page. And, of course, we'll have the call right here on Hot 93.7 FM. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Our pregame show begins at 6:30, and that is Guthrie Piedmont this week.
Yep. Should be
a good one. All right, Phil, here's, again, coming up here in our next segment, we'll be talking to J.D. Northcutt of Moore, talking a little bit of 6A football and the Moore Lions. All right, Phil, time for the would you rather have this game or not?
Oh, boy. In what way?
Well, would you like to throw for 18 of 26 for 307 yards and 3 touchdowns in a victory?
Okay.
Would you like to, see here, as a wide receiver, catch 7 balls for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns?
Okay.
Would you like to rush for 217 yards and 6 touchdowns, including a game winner?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Or would you like to rush the ball 23 times for 153 yards, pass 8 of 16 for 87 yards, and score the winning touchdown in overtime?
I'd rather be the 217, score the game-winning touchdown for the winner.
Let me break it down for you. Yep. Carson Cooksey, quarterback for Blanchard, 18 of 26 for 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a victory over Newcastle, 2013. Yep. Brandon Harper, the wide receiver at Noble, we just talked about that game, had those 7 catches, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Big game.
Added in 4 carries, 47 yards. Norman, the junior, Tyus McClarity, 217 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Have you heard how the game went down with Mustang?
No.
I'll break it down here in a second. Norman beats Mustang 62-58. Virgil Yates, quarterback for Del City, game-winning touchdown as they took down McGinnis 27-21 in a very entertaining ball game. So we'll talk about 5A rankings here in a little bit. But let me get real quick. And T. Fred, appreciate you watching on Facebook. Tommy Hamilton watching on Facebook as well. And we got a great audience. Appreciate everyone tuning in. So here we go, Phil. Let me find this Mustang. Oh, boy. My internet just went. Well, not my internet. I lost. Stand by. Can you entertain the –
Well, what do you need me to do? You want me like a dance? Or you want me to talk? What happened to you?
Going it, my computer's freezing up on me.
Oh, this is when Chris falls apart right here. Okay, all right, there we go.
What 4 games? What we learned. Here we go.
A lot of pressure on me.
Come on, refresh. We're getting to JD Northcutt next segment, so I want to get this. Okay, here we go. So Mustang has the football leading 58-55.
Okay.
Okay, a little over 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Run the clock out.
Yeah.
Get a victory.
All you need is one first down.
Maybe two. Maybe two.
We've been there before.
Okay, maybe two. Yeah. There's a fumble.
Ooh.
There's a fumble. Norman recovers the fumble.
That's a bad day.
So they set up at Mustangs 34. A few plays later, Norman has a 4th and 8. They send the field goal unit. We're going to tie this game up, send it overtime.
Oh, no.
The kick was up, and it missed to the right.
Yeah. Ball game?
There's a flag on the play.
Oh, boy, line them up.
Flag on the play. Running into the kicker.
Oh, that's
running
a bad
into the
day.
kicker.
Now, do you throw that flag?
Well, if you ran into the kicker.
No, that's not true.
You have to.
No, that's not. You always tell me it's situational officiating.
No, I've never said that.
You say that all the time at baseball games. I'll say the strike zone's a strike zone. You go, well, someday.
Well, if it's 25-0, you're not going to.
We'll call the darn game.
Well, you're going to call it definitely right when you run into the kicker.
It's 108. What are you going to do? The temperature you're calling a game.
108? That's pretty hot.
Yeah, you go pretty quick, don't you?
But anyway, 2 plays later, game-winning touchdown. Tigers win their first game of the season.
Wow.
That would be a hard one to take.
It's a rough weekend.
Be a hard one to take.
Yeah, it really is. That's tough.
All right, we're up against our first break here on the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church. Going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll be visiting with JD Northcutt of the Moore Lions. And we'll be back after this. This is the High School Huddle.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin, that's where the golden tenders come from, marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
Then we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
Mm-hmm. We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exxon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exxon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exxon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
It is the High School Huddle here on a Wednesday night, taking you up to the top of the hour here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI. Also streaming us live on Guthrie News Page Facebook and Guthrie News Page YouTube. Title sponsor for the High School Huddle is Generations Church, 2524 West Noble here in beautiful Guthrie. Website, generationsguthrie.com. Everyone is welcome, whether you have been involved in church your whole life or a part of your life or just want to change something up. Be sure to give our good friends Generations Church an opportunity there at, again, 2524 West Noble. If you want to check them out online, you can do that. You can also give them a call, 405-282-6848. Big thank you to Josh and Nicole Seabolt once again this year, our title sponsors. And, Phil, I can't remember the last time we've had a guest on our show, and we got some capabilities of doing that now. And so thought about who to have on there. Of course, we visit with this guy every year, a couple times a year. And it's usually big football games.
Correct.
Whether it be state championship football games or state championship basketball games or baseball, whatever it is. It is J.D. Northcutt of More Lions Football. J.D., so thankful for you to be able to join us here on short notice today, by the way. Thank you.
Hey, you bet, man. I always love talking high school football and really appreciate the opportunity. And thanks again for reaching out.
Absolutely. Okay, JD, you do a lot of state championship football games, as we mentioned, but you also are the voice of the Moore Lions. And my, oh my, what a year it is for the Lions so far. 3-0 start for them and going for a city state championship this week. But talk about the Moore Lions and the excitement with that program.
I'll tell you what, it really has been a fun time. Of course, when you've been around as long as I have, you see kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, but a lot of good right now. Like you said, 3-0, defeated Edmond Memorial in 0 week, and then took care of the Westmore Jaguars for the first time in 20 years. So kind of got that monkey off our back. And always think about the NFL Films video of Steve Young saying, hey, I got the monkey off our back, and when he was took over the quarterback there for the 49ers years ago. But the monkey's off the back, and so the Lions had a nice game against a very talented Norman Tiger squad, and then we had the week off. So 3-0 start, but you guys know as well as I do is a 3-0 start in non-district play is great, a lot of fun, and they'll get a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz in your program, but it's time to kind of shift that gear and to get ready to try to put yourself in position to get a playoff spot, and that all starts Friday night against the Southmore SaberCats. So
you're off to a great start, 3-0. Is the team, or did the bye week come at a good time, or was it like, man, let's keep on playing, man? We're 3-0, we're feeling good about us. The students are happy, the teachers are happy, the principals are happy. We're winning football. Did the bye week come at a good time for Moore?
Yeah, I mean, at this time, you got 3 games under your belt. That whether it's high school, college, or pro, you're going to have some guys that are banged up. So it's kind of that catch-22. You do want to keep things going. These kids are 15, 16, 17 years old, so you want to keep them in that routine. But on the other hand, going through the 0 week deal is kind of I think at first I really wasn't for it, but I think it's kind of a positive to where you do get a little bit of a mental break, and then your coaches get a little time off too. I mean, you still practice every day and things of that nature. But basically, to answer your question, I'll go ahead and go with it was a good thing for the Moorline football program to have a week off.
JD, this is Phil here, brother. Great to visit with you again. Talk a little bit about the Dawkins kid. He's one of the leaders in the program, and he's going to set the pace for Moore this upcoming Friday.
Well, I tell you what, Marcus Dawkins, he can play anywhere, probably just not big enough to play center, guard, or tackle on the offensive line. But I tell you what, if you change his jersey number and put him in a 50s number, 60s number, or 70s number, he would be a kid that would go in there and give it a shot. But he plays running back, wide receiver, slot receiver, wildcat quarterback. He plays in the secondary. He can play anywhere from – he can play strong safety, free safety, either side, boundary corner, field corner. He could even get up there and play a little outside back if you need him to. But Marcus Dawkins is the kid that kind of makes the wheel spin, so to speak, for the Moorline football program. And he's just a special kid. We had Daniel Highshaw a couple of years ago that ended up going up to play at the University of Kansas in the semifinal run that we had a few years ago. But Marcus is a special player, and you're talking about him, and I know that as the season continues with the success that he's had, and he's a team guy, but he's going to continue to get more accolades and get some more offers. A few schools are kind of reaching out to him, but I think things will continue for him.
Speaking with J.D. Northcutt of MoreLions.com, you can check him out. Moore has on the radio as well. KOKC, is that right? Is that true again this year?
That is correct, yeah. KOKC, this is my 31st year being with the Moorline football program, and we've been on it was old KOMA, but it's the same signal, KOKC. This is our 29th year being on that one particular signal.
JD, you might make it if you keep working hard. You might actually stick there.
Well, I'm kind of thinking about experience. I'm a little light on experience, fellas. And, of course, you guys have been at this a long time too. So when we all get together and work those state championship games, I tell you what, the old calculator gets pretty good heat to it by the time we had up all of our experience.
There's I look around. I remember when I used to look around and go, God, he's kind of old. And now I realize, I said that about a guy the other day, and I realized I graduated 4 years before he did. And I thought, well, that's not very good. So
yeah.
Goes quick.
We're all there, man. But you know what? The one thing that we all have in common, we might be a bunch of old guys, but you know what? We have a lot of fun with the relationships we have with these coaches and these players, and just the passion that we get out there and are able to relay the information that we can and to get people to where they can know about whether like what you guys do up there in Guthrie or what I do and more. And obviously we pick up as many side jobs as we can because we love it.
Yep. JD, you mentioned 3-0 in the non-district. Of course, what everyone likes to say the second season with district play. In Guthrie in Class 5A, whether it be 5A2, 5A1, there's those games like Guthrie, Piedmont, McGinnis, Carl Albert. Those are 3 games in a 10-week season. More where you've been for years. And by the way, JD's been there long enough to call plays. If he hasn't called plays already for the offense, but talk about what it is week in and week out. I mean, you're in the same district with Union, Owasso. Norman North has had great seasons. Mustang has had great seasons. Southmore had a year or two there before. But what's that like week in and week out of a team of Moore who has won 3, 4, or 5 ball games? What it's like to go week in and week out with a schedule as tough as Moore has to see every single year.
Well, I mean, it's just it's the gauntlet or it's just. There's no really other way to put it other than it's just tough. You got to, if you get a victory on a Friday night against one of these very tough opponents, you have to enjoy it, and then you have to just quickly shift into, hey, we got to get ready for the next team, because like we have Southmore this week that is they're 0-3, but as we mentioned earlier, everybody is 0-0 going into district play, and Coach Norman. Josh Norman, former Oklahoma Sooners, doing a good job of that program, and so he'll have his team ready to play. And Southmore nipped the Moore Lions last year in the ball game last year. So I know that they're talking about that as well. But then you play Edmond North every year. I mean, Tanner Roof, Edmond North, Santa Fe's kind of been the team that has been the upper echelon of the 3 Edmond schools, but every year, Edmond North and Coach Roof, they bring it to the Moore Lions, and that's going to be a tough out. And then we get into that, like what you talked about, the Union, the Putnam City Original. Carter Whitson, a former Oklahoma Sooner, is coaching there. They've got a really good quarterback in Hawkins. He's doing some nice things for them, and then you get into, the Owasso Mustang. So that's the coaches just have to have these kids refocus every week, whether win, lose, or draw on Thursday or Friday night, and then get ready to go the next week, because it is I'm in the field house all the time and around the locker room. And our coach Brad Hill, does a great job with his staff. And so it is. It's keeping everybody focused and not worrying about going to the Sonic.
JD, of course, we can ask you 6A questions all day long, but you see 6A schools all the time. Is there another class, like if you have a Friday night off or a Thursday night off, is there another class that you kind of watch maybe a little bit closer than others? I know Phil and I, we kind of like the Class A outside of 5A. Of course, 6A is always fun because of all the athletes, but we kind of migrate a little bit to Class A, a little bit to 4A. Is there a particular class that you kind of maybe look at a little bit longer than maybe another class?
Well, not necessarily, but I tell you what, I've been kind of keeping an eye on this year is Dell City Eagles, and who would have thought that Carl Albert would be in the situation that they're in, because you guys cover them very, very closely, and so that's kind of one of the things that just kind of caught my eye. And then you look out, I like to follow the Tuttle Tigers, and they've always have a good ball club out there, and just kind of bounce around. I keep a close eye, and I know they're in 6A because I live in the Norman area. I keep a close eye on Norman, North Norman, but they're 6A1. And then to really get down to it, the Bixby Spartans.
Yeah,
they're coming our way next year.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that storm, and I mean storm in a positive light. I'm watching that storm approach 6A1 as they leave 6A2 after this season. So I'm keeping a close eye on 6A2 because the Bixby Spartans are coming our way.
I think I want to be a head coach in 6A2 because Bixby's leaving to 6A1, as you mentioned. Midwest City's leaving. Dell City's leaving.
It's wide open after this year.
Yeah.
Wide open.
Yeah.
So if you're Stillwater Choctaw, that might be the time to get it there. So
well, and I think, we talk about this, JD, for my money, I think Bixby's the best team in the state of Oklahoma right now. I don't think there's anybody that – I think that would be – I just think they're the best team. And obviously Mr. Presley has a lot to do with that. But set him aside. They've got a phenomenal program, athletic kids all over the place, great coaching staff, great community support. They've got it going on in Bixby, Oklahoma. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Lauren Montgomery, their head coach. Yeah. He's a first-class guy. We get to cover some of their stuff with the other things that we get to do through in the postseason, and he's definitely all those guys up there. Keith Riggs at Jinx. I tell you what, Bill Blankenship. When I do the Owasso Rams on, when I cover one of their games, he's very, very gracious. Always takes time. So
he's a gentleman. He is a gentleman.
Those schools. We get to work together, and those guys always provide us the information that we need when we get to cover those particular schools. So. Obviously always keep an eye on those guys too, because it's going to be one of those situations where, when we work together later in the year, that we're going to see, if not one of those teams, we're going to see 2 or 3 or 4 of those teams.
Right.
All right, JD, I'm going to ask a Phil question.
Oh boy.
This is a Phil question.
This is dangerous, JD. Be careful.
All right, man. I got my, I'm ready to go, man.
Be careful.
All right. You've been doing this for 30 some odd years. Give us a handful of names that have been some of the best players you've got to call on the radio.
Okay. Moore Lions is is Corey Ivy. That's my all-time favorite Moore Lions football player. Corey Ivy played for Coach Tom Knowles. He won a Super Bowl ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the year that John Gruden was the head coach. As far as probably the best defensive player that I ever saw live was Rocky Kalmus.
Yeah.
The Moore Lions had a great run, but we just never could get past the Jinx Trojans in the late 90s. And then you mentioned one just a minute ago, Phil. Both Preston brothers are they're crazy good. They're, the one up there, obviously the older one at Oklahoma State, And I tell you what, the other day, another kid that just comes to mind as far as recent is the Shetron kid up at Edmond Santa Fe. He's a special kid. But, man, you go as long as guys like we have, there are just so many special young athletes, and then just some of the things that we get to do from covering the state tournament basketball. I mean, there's just – I mean, I got to cover, like, Jason White years ago, and I thought he was a pretty darn good basketball player.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, you'd have to, like, we'd have to create like a power hour show or something and just go through, just go back through. But yeah, man, that's it's so fun to talk about. But Corey Ivy for more, Rocky Kalmus defensively, and goodness gracious, offensively, man.
Was your Corey Ivy Corey L. Ivy or Corey T. Ivy?
Corey, I believe he was T.
Okay, he was the T. I remember the two of them there.
Yeah, because there were two Coreys at OU at the time, Corey Ivy.
Yeah.
JD, did you ever see Gerald McCoy?
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah. He was down at Wynnewood, right?
Southeast.
Southeast, yeah. He was at Southeast. Yeah, Southeast.
Gerald McCoy. I'm talking about the
running back.
Yes, yeah. I'm talking about.
Yeah, Gerald McCoy was a D lineman.
Yeah.
No.
He was.
I never saw him live. I never saw him live in high school. Obviously, watched him when he played in college and obviously the pros, but never saw him. But I'm sure you guys.
It wasn't fair, JD. Yeah. It just wasn't fair.
James Allen from Wynnewood.
Yeah. James Allen,
yeah. James Allen from Wynnewood. But
there's been some great ones.
Oh man, I tell you what, and I mean, talking about Carl Albert, the Zell brothers, and I mean, I was at the OU Nebraska game, and my son went with me, and I remember calling Ben Harris when he was the freshman starter for Carl Albert. And there's not too many quarterbacks in the state of Oklahoma, much less the entire country of high school football, that had a win-loss record like the Harris kid out of Carl Albert that's now, obviously, you guys know, a preferred walk-on at the University of Oklahoma.
Well, and for us Guthrie folks, we felt like he played at Carl Albert for 20 years because we –
Oh, I know.
I mean, good Lord. It was like, okay, he's still here. That's not good. He's still here.
Ben lost 2 games in 4 years, and Carl Albert lost their first 2 games this year.
Hey,
JD, we can do this all day long. It's always fun to talk to you. I'm glad we got to talk to you in the regular season. And heck, there might be time down the road we get to talk to you for the playoffs even hit. So I appreciate you be able to join us on such short notice, and always a good friend. He's a great radio announcer, but an even better person
good man.
than he is. So, JD, thank you so much.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you guys reaching out. Just call anytime. And like I said, one of these days we'll get that off-season Power Hour show going, and
that'd be fun.
Talk about we'll rank like 1 through 5, 1 through 10, or we always have fun. You know that. Look forward to seeing you guys later on down the line.
Hey, maybe we can pull that off the week before we do the state championship games this year.
Hey, there you go.
That'd be fun.
Give me a little. Give this old guy a little homework time.
Thank you, JD. All right. That is JD Northcutt, morelines.com, the voice of More Lines. Again, More 3-0.
Yeah.
They've already beat Westmore, which they snapped a long losing streak to them. Take on Southmore. So City bragging rights could go to More after this week, but more importantly for them, they'll be 1-0 if they can get past Southmore.
Yeah, and you can tell JD's a high school guy. 3-0 is nice, but heck, we're all 0-0 now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's true. It's true.
Absolutely. We're going to take our time out here, come back, take a look at some of the games this week as we get set for week 4 of the high school football season. This is the High School Huddle presented by Generations Church.
Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exon.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Louis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Louis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
Then we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
Well, Cheyenne back in our Stillwater studio. Thank you, Cheyenne. Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you. High School Huddle presented by Generations Church. And we got a lot of Friday night football to talk about. But then on Saturday, don't forget, Oklahoma State Cowboys open up Big 12 play as they host Kansas State. 2:30 game day live at Eskimo Joe's. Rex Holt and the crew. And then Dave Hunziker, John Holcomb take over at 4 o'clock with the program. And then 6 o'clock kickoff. Cowboys, Wildcats. Cowboys got a good victory over in Boise State. No points in the second half.
I think it's, the Cowboys got to be, though, looking around at their offense and going, what are we doing? You know, but it's but I was up in Kansas land, as we talked about. A lot of my K-State friends all the schools that end with State after them, it seems like they all think they're going to lose every game. K-State says, we don't have a chance to beat Oklahoma State. All my Oklahoma State fans, K-State always has our number. And I'm going, man, just none of it. Now, they did lost Skylar Thompson, which is, their quarterback up at K-State for indefinitely, I believe is what it says. So, but yeah, they're, K-State 3-0, ranked 25th, OSU 3-0, and ranked in some polls, in around that 23-24 area. So it should be a good game.
So the wife and I, we watch college football all the time, all day Saturdays. It's fun. And then if it's on Sunday.
Sam?
Oh, yeah, she's college football, big time.
She enjoys it?
Oh, absolutely. But she did have a good question during the Oklahoma State-Boise State game.
Is she?
I don't know. Okay. So why Boise State? It's not a state. Boise State. You have like your Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Boise's not a state, but they're Boise State.
Well,
what's the answer?
There's Appalachian State.
Right, yeah.
There's other schools that do it. I don't want to,
But there's no state called Appalachian.
Well, it could just be something as simple as that's just a name. It doesn't have to be a reason for everything.
Sam's watching, by the way, so
Sam, to answer your question.
So when we go to break, you'll be able to answer that for her. So
I think a lot of it is usually they're ag type schools.
Yeah.
So they'll say state usually on ag schools. So
Just one of the questions that you can watch football. It's always fun.
Sam, one of the smartest people I know. Good question.
Hey, JD brought up the Carl Albert Titans a moment ago, but Carl Albert got their first victory last week as they took down Shawnee. Now Shawnee 0-3 to begin the season, but Carl Albert wins that game 36-14. Coach Mike Dunn, gets his first victory as a Carl Albert Titan. And someone was it Timmy DuBois was asking. Where's your question, Timmy? Timmy on Facebook, who's watching us on Facebook, says, do you think the Guthrie Blue Jays will beat the Carl Albert Titans this year? Chris and Phil. Well, Guthrie plays Piedmont this week. So one game at a time. Guthrie Carl Albert is next week, and we'll have a whole bunch of information on that. But I just brought that up, but Carl Albert gets their first victory. Of course, they play a great non-district schedule.
Played a great non-district schedule. Listen, everybody was talking in the offseason. I mean, they knew that Carl Albert graduated so many great high school athletes. I mean, there was tons of them. You got a head coaching change. Oh, by the way, the guy that retired is the head coach. Now, still on the staff, still teaching and helping out on the football program. But all Coach Corley did was win a state title every year he was the head coach. So there's change regardless. And if the athletes, the skill level is not quite where it was before, you have a coaching change. I don't care who you are, it might be a little bumpy out the gate, so we'll see.
I heard Shawnee had 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. I think I heard Carl Albert had 5 unsportsmanlike penalties. So that's something
which is unusual.
They'll want to clean that up.
And that's unusual. And that's unusual for a Carl Albert program. I mean, you don't typically see those kind of flags. So you could read into that, I guess, if you like to, or you could just say, well, it's high school kids and it happens. But Carl Albert's still one of the best teams in 5A.
The Quasi's a great athletic quarterback.
No doubt.
They got some great athletes. Of course, he moved in from Choctaw a year ago, so they have some great athletes there. Phil, real quickly, we'll take a look at some of the games here, but let's go ahead and get our 6A rankings out real quick. There was a light schedule last week, so not a whole lot of movement on 6A rankings this week, as a lot of teams had their bye week. But I have Owasso 1, Jinx 2, Union 3, Broken Arrow 4. Yes, I moved the Moore Lions to number 5. They're 3-0. Evans Santa Fe, tough schedule. They're 1-2, but I cut the Moore Lions in the top 5.
That's good. Yeah, and they could be there. Moore might be like 6 or 7 for me, but they're right there. So no argument for me.
All right, 6A2 football. Bixby, 39-game winning streak. Yeah. Choctaw 2. Wait for that showdown again. I did move Tulsa, Washington ahead of Stillwater. I dropped Stillwater down 1 spot. I do move Booker T. Washington up, and Midwest City, I have them still at number 5.
Yeah, and I'm still Bixby, Choctaw, Stillwater at 3, still Midwest City 4, Sand Springs at 5. The field goal was good, Chris, so Booker T's still in timeout.
Oh, they're still in timeout.
Still in timeout.
Bobby Klink and Sand Springs remain in your top 5. They had a bye week as well. Class 5A football, I got Collinsville 1, Coweta 2. Carl Albert 3, yes I do. McAllister 4. McAllister keeps winning, but I got to see it against the big boys. I got to see it first. And I have McGinnis still at number 5, or in the top 5 with a 1-2 record. A very good Dale City ball club. Took them to overtime, so McGinnis, until proven different, which there's some time for some 6A schools to prove different, I got McGinnis at number 5.
Yeah, I'm still Collinsville, McAllister, Coweta. The Guthrie Blue Jays at 4, Carl Albert 5.
Of course, Tahlequah, Lawton Mac, Ardmore, still all right there. Noble has an argument. Guthrie has the argument there as well. So those are our top 5. Real quickly, take a look at Class 4A rankings. Tigers. It's this week. Cushing Tigers taking on the Tuttle Tigers. So we'll know who the number one team is next week. We'll talk about that game in our next segment. But I got Tuttle 1, Cushing 2, Wagner 3, Poto 4, Clinton 5. Clinton did not play last week.
Yeah, and we just flipped Poto and Wagner on mine, so we're right there together.
Class 2A rankings. Yes, Holland Hall beat Metro Christian. Yes. They took they went down a class and beat up on the Metro Christian. I still have them at number 1. Washington 3-0, number 2. Beggs 3, Jones 4, OCS 5.
Yeah, Millwood. Hopefully, I don't know if we heard anything on Millwood this week.
Surely they had a week to get the grades up.
Hopefully, yeah.
Millwood did not play last week.
They didn't play, so we're leaving them. I left mine as they were, so that's where we'll stay.
Class A rankings. I got Cash at number 1, Phil.
Well, I know. Homer.
You don't. Okay. Ringling 2, Hooker 3, Gore 4, Hominy up in the top 5 as they are 4-0. as they took down someone good. I forgot who they beat.
Oh boy.
I can get that real quick, but they did have a good. It was a good victory. They beat Pawhuska, 33-31. So
yeah. So they beat my number 5 ranked team, but I left them there. So so Ringling's still my number 1. Hooker, Cashin coming in at a smooth number 3. Gore, and then Pawhuska.
Pawhuska is still a very, very, very good program. Coach Hennessy over there. Okay, need to hit our final timeout. Come back, take a look at the top 10 games of the state of Oklahoma and our predictions. This is the High School Huddle.
At Generations Church, we exist to love God, love people, and serve both well. We're a multi-generational, multicultural church that believes in being a light to our city and our region. At Generations, we don't believe that church can be put in a box. We're a church that accepts all people from all walks of life, young, old, rich, and poor, and you will feel welcome at Generations. Join us at 10 a.m. every Sunday at 2524 West Noble in Guthrie, America. You can also join us at generationsguthrie.online.church.
Hey, you in the third row. Yes, you. When was your last dental checkup? Dr. Lewis Turney and his staff provide dental care in a fun, relaxing environment. Still not convinced? Prefer to sleep through your appointment? No problem. We can do that too. Our staff can ensure you have a relaxing experience no matter what. Got kids? Hey, so do we. Come see what all the moms are talking about. Our kid-friendly staff loves to provide care to even the tiniest of teeth. Give us a call today. We've got the whole family covered.
Give Dr. Lewis Turney a call at 282-7600.
Today I'm sharing Golden Chick with the world. Are you ready to taste Golden Chick for the first time? 100% tenderloin. That's where the golden tenders come from. Marinated for 24 hours.
It is amazing.
Then we also got the rolls, made fresh.
It feels like they were just baked.
You know why it feels that way? They were.
Every time I go, I like to get extra rolls, so I love it. Mm-hmm.
We are being kind of photobombed right now by the one and only Clucky. Have you met Clucky the chicken? Don't get too starstruck. He's just a regular guy. One taste, and you're golden. He's on Tender. That's like a chicken dating app.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy. Aspen Roofing is a family-owned roofing company with more than 20 years of experience and achievements across Oklahoma. Aspen Roofing takes pride in the personal service we provide on each job, and we strive to maintain the highest level of quality while offering our customers a reasonable price. It is our commitment to help you understand the process of getting a new roof from start to finish. Call Robbie Hudson for a free roofing estimate at 405-562-0026.
Exon was founded by 2 combat-proven veterans to help businesses grow from mediocre to exceptional. We know from experience that your culture and trust throughout the organization drive superior performance. Most business owners focus on the urgent rather than the important. They are just struggling to survive. The team at Exon helps owners identify challenges, build solutions, and focus on growth. Do you trust your team? Does your team trust you? If not, we can help. We are Exon.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Join the huddle yourself and let us know your thoughts by calling our toll-free number at 1-800-897-3678 or simply tweet us by using the hashtag OKHSHuddle. Now let's get back in the huddle and talk high school sports.
Final segment here on the High School Huddle. Again, big thank you to Cheyenne back in our 93.7 FM studios, Stillwater, USA, and Stillwater looks to get back on the winning side of things after that big
A lot of football left. They'll be all right.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
So we'll take you up to the top of the hour. Phil, time to take a look at some oops, wrong screen there. Good for our video audience.
My best side or
our perfect game.
Do I have a better side?
Oh, absolutely.
My back?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, got you.
Take a look at some of the big games in the state of Oklahoma. And not on our list, but the Tulsa World thanks Enid and Jinx is up there. Enid, 2-1, lost a lot MacArthur the last time out, and they'll take on Jinx. So
Tulsa World's drunk. So, I'll just say the Tulsa World is drunk.
Unless they might know something.
Evidently, they got a good supplier of vodka.
JD in the previous segment talked about one of the best players he ever saw was Rocky. Casey Porter always talks about the Jinx student section.
Oh, yeah.
I always say when he was playing, we're not cocky, we got Rocky.
Well, Rocky Kalmus, high school and college, I think if anybody saw him play, they would be at least he'd be in everybody's top, at least 3 high school or college defensive players they'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a freak of nature, and of course played in the NFL, had a lot of injury problems by the time he got there, but the guy was a complete monster.
Stayed in state at OU and won a national championships.
Yep.
I mean, so just
a complete monster.
Absolutely. All right, Phil, let's take a look at some of the big games. Prague is at Millwood. Prague 3-0. This is a 2A matchup, 2A2, I do believe. But Millwood off last week, 1-1.
Yep.
They got a great slew of athletes taking on Prague 3-0. What are you going to go with this winner?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but are we sure Millwood's going to play this week?
They are playing. I have not received any.
And I'm not trying to be
right.
But haven't heard a whole lot from that. But I'm going to go with Millwood. I still think. I mean, Millwood. Of course, I'm rolling the dice here because I don't know who's going to play and who isn't.
Right.
But if all their players play, I'll file that disclaimer. I'll go with Millwood.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. All right, take a look at the next one. Watonga at Cashion. My number 1 team, your number 3 team.
Yeah.
Watonga and Cashion, it's always a great matchup. Cashion's had the upper edge over the last couple of years. Watonga 4-0, Cashion 3-1.
Yeah.
Eagles. Taking the Eagles?
I'm taking Cashion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cashion. I'm not drunk.
The Cats. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Mustang. They're 1-2 on the year, and they had had the victory taken away. Norman got them last week, 62-58. Now they'll try to split the Norman series as they take on Norman North.
Yeah, 0-2 against Norman teams this year for Mustang. Norman North.
I'm going to go Norman North as well on that one. We agree on that
look
one.
At us.
Stigler. Boy, I love me some Stigler.
Wanted them to play Bixby.
They got a new head coach this year. Their head coach went to be a coordinator over at Muskogee. Yep. So far, so good for Stigler. They are 4-0, taking on Doug Ogle's Seminole 4-0 ball club.
In honor of Super Doug, I'm going with Seminole.
What?
Oh, yeah, going for the upset.
Sorry, Assistant Superintendent.
Just remember this, Doug.
Ogle.
Remember this.
Stigler.
Oh.
Stigler. Stillwater Pioneers try to get back in the win column this week as they take on Deer Creek. Stillwater's on the road, and the Stillwater's going to be motivated after last week's performance. And will they take it out on Deer Creek?
Yeah, Stillwater wins big.
Gage Gundy and crew taking on Deer Creek's Brett Pence. Deer Creek 3-0. I will take the Pioneers as well. Podo Hilldale, a little 4A matchup. Phil Podo 2-1. Hilldale 3-0. Podo's in our top 5. Hilldale's not in the top 5, so what's that?
Podo.
Podo.
Yeah.
I agree.
We only disagreed on one, right?
So I think
Were you betrayed, Doug?
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one? 6A2 matchup. Tulsa, Washington 3-0 taking on Choctaw 2-1. This is this would be my number 2 versus number 3 in my poll.
Yeah. Choctaw wins.
Choctaw, man.
Yeah.
I agree. This is not good.
I know.
Still Wassel. Okay, so
kicking ball.
So which one? We got about a minute.
Okay.
A little over a minute left. Which one would be your game of the week? Tuttle Cushing or Wasso Union?
For me?
For you.
Tuttle Cushing.
Me too. So let's talk about Owasso Union first. Owasso 3-0, Tulsa Union 2-1. Owasso number 1 in my rankings. Are they number 1 in your rankings, Phil?
I believe they are.
Yes. So they were both there. So taking Owasso?
I am. Yeah. My Rams.
I totally agree.
I mean, I started that whole thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got it all going over there.
In the preseason, I picked them, and you and Casey Porter mocked me. And what'd they do, Chris?
You motivated Blankenship.
They won the state championship. He had a little average career, Blankenship has. I put him over the top.
All right, and the game of the week in the state of Oklahoma, Tuttle Tigers taking on the Cushing Tigers. I talked about all those numbers by Cushing, and can they put all those numbers together against perhaps the best defense in Class 4A, the Tuttle Tigers? Phil.
Well, I can tell you this. And this is simple. This is my lock.
Simple.
No, this is my lock.
Lock?
This is my lock. I'm locking it down.
Taking Tuttle, aren't you?
Cushing. What? Cushing. Cushing. I'm going to say it right now. Cushing's going to go undefeated and win the state title this year. I'm calling it early.
Blaze Burlowitz, the quarterback. Camden Crooks, the wide receiver. Tuttle Tigers, they got defense everywhere. They wake up playing defense. Yeah. It'll be a good one. We'll have Guthrie Piedmont. That's a game that can be up there. That's going to be a big game for playoff positioning. I'm going to go Blue Jays.
I was going to say, I'm going to get you a for sale sign if you don't.
I was trying to be clever, but I'm going Blue Jays. No bulletin board material here.
No. I think it'll be a great game, and that's became a good rivalry, you know, over the last few years.
That broadcast Friday night. Pre-game show begins at 6:30. Yep. Kickoff at 7 o'clock here on 93.7 FM. Thank you, Cheyenne, back in our Stillwater studio.
Great job, Cheyenne.
For Phil Nichols, I'm Chris Evans. We'll talk to you next time. This has been the High School Huddle.
This has been the High School Huddle on Hot 93.7 FM. Be sure to tune in next week as we break down more of the top games and news from across the state of Oklahoma.